Hey, everybody, coming at you with film number 12 out of our goal to see 100 movies this year and review 100 movies. Sorry, cheeks are a little flushed. I walked to and from the movies tonight because it got a little warmer today. First, it's starting to get into the 50s after being negative 20 forever. It was either got wind chilled or sunburned at night. I don't know. It is what it is. But anyway, you don't care. I went to see How to Make a Killing, which is John Patton Ford's latest. Oh, there you go. Look at me again. Ooh. John Patton Ford's latest film. Um, it was a sneak preview on Mystery Movie Night at Regal. So I think it comes out this week or it comes out next week. I don't know. Either way, when it does come out, you should definitely check this out. It was definitely more enjoyable as what I would consider to be film noir, dark comedy. There's a lot of the dark comedies coming out recently that have been super good. Then when I saw Crime 101 the other night, I would say that they were planted from the same seed of ideas, but this one grew into a much better tree. Kind of a similar plot in the sense that it's a caper. It's a movie that obviously looks at morality and criminal behavior. It's got a lead character who we look at his psychological background for his actions of when he slipped from morality, which Crime 101 also did. But then like I said in my review, if you watched it, it did it with every character. And so it took up a tremendous amount of time just trying to narrate and put plot points behind every character. And this one just kind of focused on Glenn Powell's character and then let all the characters move into his life and kind of gravitate around him. Crime 101 had the notion of falling in love while you're living in duality life. This movie has the same thing with an absolutely wonderful Jessica Henwick, who I liked in Glass Onion. Um, she's fantastic in this movie too. Just really good character, good heart, um, unexpected, I think, in how your preconceived notions of how she comes into the movie and how she turns out in the movie. And I would say that a lot about this movie. This movie is very surprising. I think you're going to think, oh, yeah, I got this movie down. I know what's going to happen. It's very twisty, 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 turny, with a lot of things you probably won't see coming. So I'm not going to spoil anything about it. Obviously, the plot of this is widely known from the trailers. You have Glenn Powell's character, who is trying to gain the inheritance that he was left out of because he was born um, to a wealthy mom who was basically kicked out of the will for getting pregnant. It's a very Lorelai Gilmore tale. Then he lives in New Jersey, and somebody who lived and taught in New Jersey, I loved the New Jersey references to what they said. I, she works at the Newark BMV, and I often went to the Newark BMV. I lived in Newark. They talk about Montclair, East Orange. Pretty excited about all that Jersey stuff. So yeah, it's a really fun movie. Like I said, it's got a lot of dark humor. Um, Crime 101 tried the same thing. They brought in a lot of characters, but this one uses the characters in fun ways. Topher Grace in the scene that he's got, or the moments that he's got, great. Zach Woods. Zach Woods steals the show when he comes on, and I think, oh my gosh, Gabe. But I really kept thinking of Jared from Silicon Valley, and I thought at any point Russ Hanneman's going to jump out and he's going to say, "This guy, if you know, you know Silicon Valley, you know what I'm saying about Jared." Um, is so good, is so funny. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I would give it 4.5 because I would say there are parts I think you'll feel it. It goes at such a rapid clip and it's so much fun, and then there's a really big slowdown that I think you'll all feel. It loses kind of its motivation, picks it up back at the end. Margaret Qualley, I love Margaret Qualley, and she is so brave in all the choices she takes in movies, and you could tell she's just having fun. If you didn't see Blue Moon last year, See Blue Moon. Um, when she was in Drive-Away Dolls, great. Um, gosh, I just everything. Her little turn in Happy Gilmore too. So, you know, yeah, great stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I don't want to give anything away. But it is a solid movie, much better kind of crime noir movie than Crime 101. I kept thinking about how there's just a lot of movies about, the rich getting what's coming to them, obviously, over the last few years, like Triangle of Sadness and The Menu. You see a variety of trailers coming up where this is going to be happening, right? This movie is in the same vein, but it's again surprising. It reminds me a lot of, if you've seen one, I think it was in the '90s. There was a movie called Greedy with Michael J. Fox and Kirk Douglas, and Michael J. Fox trying to get his inheritance from a grandfather who tortures the family, basically, and Phil Hartman, and it's quirky characters who are trying to vie for this inheritance, and I feel it's very similar in the line of Greedy, which is great if you know what I'm talking about, if you get in that reference. Yeah, Glenn Powell, he is, I think, he is old Hollywood in modern day. He's got this great twinkle in his eye of like youthful joy, but also there's a lot of malevolence and mischief behind it, which I think is fun in the movies that he plays in. And so I was actually thinking about that on my walk home, is obviously there's a lot of people doing reviews online and stuff, so I don't stand out very much. But I thought maybe something we could do that'd be fun if you want to hang out and kind of set us apart from all the other movie reviews is think about if this movie was made in old Hollywood, who would star in this movie? So here's my guesses. Here's my thoughts. And again, maybe this is something we can do after I review movies. I think for a character like Glenn Powell, again, that wink of boyish energy, but malevolence and mischief. I think very similar to people like William Holden would be great in this part. Burt Lancaster would be great in this part. Errol Flynn, Paul Newman, Steve McQueen would be great in this part. For kind of the femme fatale character, definitely I would put like an Audrey Hepburn or a Betty Davis. What do you think about that and putting those people in? Obviously, this too, I'm tying this into a lot of movies. When I kept thinking about Sabrina, like the original Sabrina with Humphrey Bogart, William Holden, Audrey Hepburn, even the redo of Sabrina with Harrison Ford, Greg Kinnear, um, was great. And I thought about that. Movies to check out. I thought maybe I could throw those out. Similar movies in kind of a fun, noir humor, kind of dark comedy way. Elmer Gantry, which looks at the morality of people who hustle using religion and con people who want to believe in them. That lack of morality thing that exists. Again, Sabrina, Maltese Falcon, very similar in kind of the twists and turns of you never know what character is doing what or what their motivation is. And then one of my favorite movies in that line is Cheap Detective with Peter Falk, that also kind of spoofs, well, it doesn't even kind of, it is a spoof of Maltese Falcon, but it also has quirky characters, the setup, the murders. Clue, obviously. Clue, you never know what the characters are going to do and where they're coming from, right? Oh, Clue, so good. Yeah, it's just, I would say it's in those line. Clue, Sabrina, Elmer Gantry, Cheap Detective, Maltese Falcon. I would definitely go see it. Like I said, there's a draggy part, but it's twisty, it's turny, it's fun. The characters are great, the direction's great, the writing is great, and it's got New Jersey references. So yeah, go see it because you will laugh and you will be surprised. All right.